With profound humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 2 of 4.
Etc.
Peace for Ukraine or your reign.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
He saw a bush burning, but to his astonishment, the leaves were still green. As he walked closer, he heard a voice coming from the bush. "Moses, Moses." Beloved Prophet Moses, vegetarian, the divine Redeemer and Messenger of God. Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan we are in.
When making new friends in Israel, a good starting point is asking, Ma Shimcha, that's what's your name in the Hebrew language. Spiritual viewers, I am Amir. The bright people of Israel wish you joy and blessings from the heavens. Welcome to part 1 of a two-part series entitled Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, the Divine Redeemer and Messenger of God. Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, is a sacred figure in several religions, including Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the Bahá'í faith, and the Druze faith. He is regarded as a prophet, a leader, and a lawgiver who played a crucial role in the history and development of these Abrahamic religions. According to the Hebrew Bible, Moses led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt and received the 10 Commandments from God on Mount Sinai. He is also credited with writing the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible, known as the Torah, or the 5 books of Moses, which contain the foundational teachings of Judaism. The exact date of Moses' birth is not known with certainty, but scholars generally place his birth around the 13th century BC. Egypt during Moses' time was a powerful kingdom in North Africa and the Middle East. It was known for its sophisticated culture, including architecture, art, and writing.
The Nile River, which flows through Egypt, played a vital role in the country's economy and agriculture.
According to the book of Exodus, a new Pharaoh, referred to in the Bible as Pharaoh, had taken over the throne. He began to fear that the children of Israel were growing in numbers and becoming powerful enough to take over the country. Therefore, he decreed that the Israelites should be treated as slaves and made to work in the building of roads and cities, including the construction of grand buildings and monuments. Then, he gave orders that all male children born to an Israelite woman should not be allowed to survive. A young Israelite woman named Jochebed and her husband Amram were delighted with their newborn son. Born into a world of genocide, the baby boy was raised in fear. His parents were determined to protect their son from Pharaoh's cruel command, so they hid him in the house for 3 months until he became too weak to hide. With a heavy heart, the young woman made a covered cradle out of dried reeds, which she made waterproof by wrapping it with tar and clay. Moses had one older sister, Miriam, and one elder brother, Aaron. Accompanied by Miriam, their young mother went to the banks of the river Nile to float her 3-month-old baby son in his waterproof basket. As she watched her son hiding among the bulrushes, she was overcome with sadness. Miriam stood nearby to watch what would happen. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's daughter, who is identified as Bithia in the Midrash rabbinic biblical interpretation, came down to the river to bathe with her maids. The princess spotted the cradle and knew it contained a Hebrew child. When she looked at him, she was overcome with compassion. Moses' sister, Miriam, then stepped forward to suggest finding a wet nurse among the Hebrew women to look after the baby. When Miriam fetched her mother, the princess was delighted to employ her to take care of the baby. In time, the princess adopted the infant as her son and named him Moses, which means to draw out, because she drew him out of the water. In Hebrew, his name is Moshe Rabbeinu, which means Moses our master.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. The United Kingdom is one of them. United Kingdom Animal Welfare Act, England and Wales. The Act has various animal people protections and recognizes vertebrates as sentient beings. Animal person caregivers must provide sufficient food and water, veterinary treatment, a suitable living environment. Those engaged in acts of animal folk cruelty may be given a lifetime ban on caring for animal individuals, sentenced up to 5 years in jail, fined up to £20,000.
Wild Mammals Protection Act 1996. The law safeguards wild mammals from certain cruel acts and related actions. Hunting Act 2004. This prohibits using dog people to hunt wild mammals in England and Wales, such as fox, deer, hare, and mink people. Wild Animals in Circuses Act 2019. This legislation bans the use of wild animal people in circuses in England, with Scotland and Wales having comparable laws that outlaw their exhibition. Animal Welfare Sentience Act 2022. The government must acknowledge the sentience of animal people when creating laws and establish an Animal Sentience Committee to analyse whether any policy may infringe upon the welfare of animals as sentient beings. The UK government has also passed legislation outlawing the use of shock collars in England, starting February 1st, 2024.
Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
Although Moses was brought up as an Egyptian prince, he never forgot that he was one of the children of Israel. After a tragic incident involving an Egyptian, Moses left Egypt and went to the land of Midian. While Moses was resting near a well, the daughters of Jethro, the local priest, came to draw water for their father's flocks. When the local shepherds drove them away, Moses intervened and helped the women fill their water jugs. Their father was so grateful to Moses that he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah in marriage.
Vegan side effect. All monster friends became exes.
Amicable viewers, let's take a few moments to pray for world vegan, world peace. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television.
Peace for Ukraine or you reign now. Russia, just go home.
Welcome back to Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, the Divine Redeemer and Messenger of God, Part 1 of 2. One day, while he was tending to his father-in-law's sheep and goat people, Moses led them to the holy mountain of Sinai. He saw a bush burning, but to his astonishment, the leaves were still green. As he walked closer, he heard a voice coming from the bush.
Moses, Moses.
It was the voice of God. He was ordered to remove his sandals as he was treading on holy ground. Moses trembled and covered his face with his hands.
Here I am,
he replied.
During a lecture in 1999 in Istanbul, Turkey, our beloved Supreme Master Chinkai, vegan, explained that God can manifest himself in different ways, such as how he appeared to Moses on the mountain bush.
God is the light. God is the love that we feel. God is the music of heaven. He can manifest himself in different ways, like Moses, and the voice of thunder, the sound of many water, the sound of trumpet, and all through the voice of the angel, as our prophet, peace be upon him, has heard it, or in the burst of flame, big lights. These things you can also experience. That I can promise. This is God who manifests in this kind of way.
God told Moses that he was responding to the pleas and suffering of the Israelites by asking Moses to go to Pharaoh and tell him to let the Israelites go. Moses' reaction to the divine call was ambivalent. He was ready to serve, but he doubted himself. God reassured Moses that he would not be alone. His God would be with him. God identified himself as Yahweh, which means His who creates, and instructed Moses to call her by this name. When Moses continued to be reluctant because of his speech impediment, God proved He would always keep His word. In Exodus chapter 4, verses 10 to 12, Moses said to the Lord,
Pardon your servant, Lord. I have never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue.
The Lord replied,
Who gave human beings their mouths? Who makes them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight or makes them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak and will teach you what to say.
The animal people not fear you in the park?
Uh-oh. Hey.
My God. It's your hand.
You can fly. You just need to rest a little bit.
Of course not. You are vegan now.
God asked Moses to throw his staff to the ground. It turned into a serpent person. As Moses picked the serpent individual up by the tail, it turned back into a wooden staff. Then God covered Moses' hand in sores and cleared them immediately. Moses took his wife, sons, and brother Aaron for his journey to Egypt. He took the staff of God in his hand to speak with Pharaoh. His brother Aaron would be his spokesman. When Moses told Pharaoh to set the Israelites free, the leader refused. Instead, he made the Israelites work harder. God made Moses go to Pharaoh one more time to ask him to release the Israelites, but again Pharaoh refused. So Moses asked Aaron to throw down the staff, which turned into a serpent person. Pharaoh's royal magicians turned their staffs into serpent people, but Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. God sent Moses to the banks of the river Nile to wait for Pharaoh and his men. When Pharaoh again refused to let the people go, Moses struck the water of the river Nile with his staff as God commanded. Immediately, the water was turned to blood, causing a shortage of water for 7 days. Then, God sent frogs, gnats, and flies, causing skin problems in animal people and humans. Thunder and hail were followed by a great cloud of locusts in the sky, causing darkness to fall upon the land for 3 days. After each plague, Pharaoh agreed to let the Hebrews go, but then changed his mind as his heart grew hard. God already struck the Egyptians with 9 plagues. The 10th and last was the death of the firstborn. God warned the Hebrews to mark their doors to spare their firstborns, while the Egyptians' families lost their eldest children. The Hebrews called that night the Passover. Pharaoh relented and let the Hebrews go, but when he saw that there was no one to build his pyramids, he sent his army to bring the Hebrews back.
My religion is humanity, and all animals are my angels. I convince my friends and family not to sacrifice an animal, but to sacrifice greed, ego, and all bad habits. Zahida Hussein, vegan.
Noble viewers, it was a delight to have your gracious company today. Join us as we continue this story on Sunday, July 23rd in Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, the Divine Redeemer and Messenger of God, Part 2 of 2. Coming up next is A Gift of Love, simple and nutritious cooking with Supreme Master Chinkai, vegan. Tofu kebab with peanut sauce and vegan fried rice noodles, here on Supreme Master Television. May your lives be filled with abundant blessing and love from the divine.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Hell not reach.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/ls.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/ls.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/ls.